Across the country and around the world, across the street and around the corner, this is Over the Culture. This is Over the Culture podcast, where you get to hear my spin on things I like music, sports entertainment, movies, TV shows, and your mom. You also get to hear about things I don't like these motherfuckers with the audacity. Where do they find it? Is it free now? Or is it on sale? I just don't know. And I am your bastard of ceremonies, the one gig kid, Pat Stay Black, Alex Treblack, Reefer Sutherland, Luke Fly Talker, the most interesting blurred in podcasting, the troller of trolls, the prince of petty, Steve G. Yeah, where do they get the audacity? Man, I'm seeing these memes and these different posts on Facebook from women who are talking about leave your gray alone. I like the salt and pepper. I like your salt and pepper beard. Stop doing the Beijing. Stop dyeing your beard. And these are the same people with the rouge and the blush and the mascara and the push-up bras and the butt implants, the fucking butt cheek draws and the fucking all of these witchcraft tactics, and I can't even touch my beard up, motherfucker. I like the way this shit look. Motherfuckers got hair hats, wigs, and weaves, and all kinds of witchcraft fuckery. They really, literally have hair hats. They have wigs inside of ball caps. That motherfuckers can make it look like they got some shit going on underneath there. And you tripping on me dyeing my beard? I can't with y'all. I cannot with you motherfuckers. How fucking dare you? The audacity of these broads. Where these brides come from? Who sent you? The nerve of these brides. And you're saying this all with a fucking clown face. Don't touch your beard up. I like the soft beard. I don't even know who the fuck I'm talking to. Do you even know who the fuck you are? Have you looked in the mirror lately? Have you forgotten what your face looks like? Shit, we both about to be waking up with pillowcases looking like coloring books. Fuck you. I do what the fuck I want with my beard. I ain't touching my shit for nobody. I ain't, nah. And I wasn't even gonna address this shit, but this shit has got me riled. This Kyrie Irving shit. Motherfucker, we about to go into the playoffs. The playoffs? We about to go into the fucking playoffs. And this motherfucker just wants to fucking take a hiatus. All of a sudden. Because of the harsh injustices of the world. Oh, Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie, save the world. Stop hooping and save the world. This motherfucker don't know if he want to play ball or fucking heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me. In the dying human race. That's so fucking touching. Man, kumbaya, Kyrie. Everybody get out their fucking incense. I cannot with you 90s babies, you little motherfuckers. Where do you get the audacity, man? It's bigger than basketball. It's bigger than basketball. It's more than just a game. Well, shit, Kyrie Irving. The last I checked, that's how we know about you. That's how you got to this stage, Kyrie Irving. Shit, you're saying this now? Mr. Flat Earther? I cannot, man. I've been on this guy's case this whole season. And you said Kevin Durant is your favorite teammate, your best teammate ever. Well, shit, I don't know if he feels the same now because you're leaving the man hanging and we about to go into the fucking playoffs. The playoffs? The motherfucking playoffs, Kyrie. Now, I don't know if you know, my cultivating cultivars. I don't know if you know anybody, because I sure as fuck don't know anybody that could just leave their job, no call, no show, and return a week later, all because of the harsh injustices of the world, and still keep your job. I can't do that shit. If I just no call, no show to my boss, my manager, they're calling me, they're texting me, sending me emails, checking my social media, and no whereabouts of Steve, We don't know where the fuck he is, and I just show up a week later, like, yeah, you know what? I just don't like the things that are going on with this world, so I just want to take myself off of the radar and just, you know, turn off my phone. You know what? My badge would stop working that second day. If they hadn't heard from me, they calling me, they're texting me, they're trying to hit me up, and they don't know where the fuck I am. Yeah, I'm not allowed back in this building ever again. That's kind of how this works. And Kyrie, you're no fucking different, sir. Nobody told you to get those fucking boss ass handles. Nobody told you to put your name on this contract where you're obligated to fulfill these duties. And it ain't nothing wrong with you. You ain't pulling no hamstring. You ain't break no ankles. You're out there breaking ankles on the court. Other players, the people who are guarding you, but ain't nothing wrong with you. And I don't even think it's a mental issue. I ain't even gonna say you need a checkup, man. You need to grow the fuck up. That's what this is. I'm not telling you to shut up and dribble. I'm telling you to fucking grow up. And hey, I don't get paid millions of dollars to do my job like you do, Kyrie. And by the way, Kyrie, what the fuck does you not playing basketball have to do with anything else? Like, you stopping before the playoffs, is that going to help these harsh injustices of the world? Is that going to stop motherfuckers over there in Israel and Palestine to fucking get right? Is that going to cause that shit to get better? Probably not. Is that going to stop police brutality, Kyrie? You not showing up for practice, you not showing up for the game, you not showing up for these playoffs. Is that going to change the world? Man, I feel like this is a whole lot of cap, Kyrie, Captain Crunch. You apparently, yeah, you from Australia, Captain Kangaroo. You want to heal the world, make it a better place, Captain America? What the fuck, Captain Planet? Captain, it's a whole lot of cap. I wasn't even going to talk about this shit, but I'm so disgusted with this motherfucker. I have a job. I have to clock in 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5, just like everybody else has a 9 to 5 that they have to show up for. And if they don't show up for that motherfucker, guess what? They under suspension or something. You gonna have to put your name on this piece of paper, like, hey, you're on work probation. If you don't want to play ball no more, just say the shit and retire, bro. Because you taking up roster space. There's somebody on that bench that wants that starting spot. Stop wasting people's time, Kyrie. The owners of the Brooklyn Nets, the coach of the Brooklyn Nets, your teammates on the Brooklyn Nets franchise are expecting you to show up. They're relying on you, man. And I get it. Yes, I agree with the fact that there are things out here bigger than basketball. Hell, I think my family is more important than my job. But unfortunately, I can't just, you know what? I miss my family, so I'm just going to irresponsibly just take a flight to Ohio and just chill with my family for a month, because my family is more important than sports television. No, it don't work like that, motherfucker. You're an adult. You a whole grown ass man. This is the real world, bitch. This is not no cartoon Disney shit. And it kills me. It kills me how motherfuckers are just so fucking booty kissing to the point where they're just accepting of this shit. Oh, man, I understand, man. These are the same motherfuckers who are not playing basketball professionally. I totally get it, man. He's right. He do got a point. No, the fuck he don't, man. That nigga don't know what the fuck he talking about. I don't like this shit. I hate it. Kill it with fire, Jesus. Baby Jesus, kill it with fire. You 90s babies, I cannot, man. Y'all don't know. Y'all just think everybody's supposed to understand me. See, no one understands me. A lot of y'all motherfuckers aren't supposed to be understood. Cause y'all don't make no goddamn sense, man. Y'all need some get right. Y'all should have had y'all's ass whooped, man. Fuck that CPS shit. Y'all needed y'all's ass beat. And that's why y'all grow up to be these motherfucking participation award. Y'all can just do whatever the fuck y'all want and everything's okay. Y'all can go to jail, do for some bullshit, serve some time, and come back home and live with mama because it's okay, baby. Come on, I got your meal cooked up. Your meal's ready on the table, baby. You could come and live with mama for as long as you need to. No, man. Take your ass to work. I got to take my ass to work out, regardless of how I feel about the world, regardless of how I feel about social injustice, about shit going on in this country. Who the fuck are you, Kyrie? It's more than basketball. Well, shit, basketball is what's putting food on your fucking table, nigga. It's what's putting a roof over your head. It's what's gotten you into that shitty movie, that Uncle Drew bullshit. Whatever the fuck it was. I ain't watched that bullshit. Dude was, man, he's on path to a Hall of Fame career, man. But with these shenanigans, man, he should not be let in. If he should not be allowed in the Hall of Fame. Fuck all that bullshit. Thank you for the 2016 championship for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie. You made a huge contribution. But at the same time, man, like, your whole career has an asterisk because you pull these kind of fuckboy shenanigans, man. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, I watched this year's induction, the 2020 induction. That was supposed to happen last year, but because of the pandemic, they had to push everything back. So finally, Kobe Bean Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Rudy Tomjanovich, and Tamika Catchings. They were some of the inductees, and I watched Kobe's induction, and it was heartfelt because, you know, his wife, Vanessa, she made the speech on his behalf. And damn, man, that woman looks so good. I mean, I don't want to say anything disrespectful, but we just not going to act like the woman ain't fine. And of course, Michael Jordan, he escorted her onto the stage, and you know, most of the time while she was giving the speech, Michael was looking down, and maybe he was trying hard to not look at that ass. But you know, one of the things that stood out in that speech was, you know, she'd pick Kobe in any lifetime, and I believe that. I believe that. Also, Kevin Garnett, he was inducted, rightfully so, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game. And Tim Duncan, in my opinion, the greatest power forward to ever play the game. The silent killer. Played his whole career with one franchise, the San Antonio Spurs, and he won 5 championships, man. He gave a shout out to his family and, of course, his teammates, and, of course, Coach Popovich, the GOAT Popovich, the greatest coach in all of basketball, in my opinion. Better than Phil Jackson. Despite Phil Jackson having about 10 rings, he coached Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, hey, what do you want? What do you expect? You're supposed to win. But yeah, man, GOAT Popovich, Greg Goatovich, Greg Papa Goat. It was good to see Tim Duncan, man, you know, getting his just due. And he's rocking the Eric Killmonger dreads. I never would thought Tim Duncan, of all people, would be wearing dreads. But hey, he is from the island. You know. And Rudy Tomjanovich, man, you know, never underestimate the heart of a champion. He was the coach for those Rockets teams in 94 and 95 when they went back to back. And, you know, he deserves a seat at the table. And what shouldn't have happened was how long they allowed this man to talk. This man thanked everybody under the fucking moon. They applauded the man, and, you know, he continued. And then I want to thank James Naismith for creating basketball, and I want to thank basketball for being a basketball. It's not a good Tomjanovich impression, but damn, man, you had to wrap that shit up, dog. Still love you, though, Rudy T, man. You did your thing, man. Now, over the week, on Friday, 2 albums were released that I really enjoyed. Of course, there was J. Cole, The Off Season, and 21 Savage, Spiral, from the Book of the Saw soundtrack. Now, both albums, they weren't really long. J. Cole's The Off Season was 12 songs, 39 minutes and 8 seconds. It has features with 21 Savage, 21, and Moray, Lil Baby, Bass, and Black, or 6 Lack. I don't even know. It's a 6 and there's Lack. But it's a great album. He doesn't make turn-up songs. He doesn't make party albums. This isn't the kind of artist J. Cole is. He hasn't been that person. He makes hip-hop for the soul. And he makes songs where you gotta pay close attention. He's this generation's Nas, for a lack of better comparison. And just like Nas, I mean, you really have to listen to those lines because his references and his rhymes are just very deep. They're deep cuts. And, you know, sometimes you're only going to get the lines or the rhymes unless you pay close attention. But the ones that stood out to me, My Life, the one with 21 Savage and Morray, the song with Lil Baby, is Pride is the Devil. I probably added half of this album to my playlist. So check that out. The Off Season by J. Cole. Now, 21 Savage's album is even shorter. It's only 4 songs, 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Spiral from the Book of Saw soundtrack. And every track goes hard. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm a 21 aficionado. The features on here are Millie Golightly on the track Down Bad, and Emergency featuring Gunna and Young Thug. And I mean, to round it out, let's just do them all because there's only 4 tracks. It starts off with Spiral, You Ain't Hard, Down Bad, and Emergency. So you can listen to both albums within an hour, and I highly recommend both. I mean, with 21 Savage, you kind of have to be a fan of 21 Savage because 21 Savage and J. Cole, they actually collaborate from time to time, but they're 2 completely different artists. So if you like hip hop, you're gonna love the J. Cole, and if you like rap, good rap with trap beats, I mean, if you like 21 Savage, you're gonna love this. 21. Now, quite a few things happened on May 16th in the history of pop culture. In 1983, the Motown 25 special airs on NBC, celebrating a quarter century of Motown records. And this is when Michael Jackson unveils his moonwalk dance move during a performance of Billie Jean, and the world was never the same again. And this has been a heavily viewed, viral clip of him doing this performance. So that happened in 1983. In 1986, Top Gun premiered in theaters. And I remember this being a big deal when I was a kid. This was at a time when Tom Cruise was on top of the world. This was before we realized he was a douchebag. This was when all the women were gaga over Tom Cruise. I remember all the girls in the TV shows or even in the movies. He was one of those names that would be brought up. Oh my God, he's so dreamy, like Tom Cruise. He was the Brad Pitt before Brad Pitt. He was who's the guy now? He was the he was the white Michael B. Jordan, the white Idris Elba, you know. But I don't know. Time hasn't been too kind to Tom because he's showing his true colors, jumping on Oprah's couch and just being a fucking scientific Scientology lunatic. Word to Katie Holmes. In 1997, Todd McFarlane's Spawn debuts, and that is a slept-on classic. The animation is great. If you like Todd McFarlane's style of animation, this was a great show. It's on HBO Max now. In 2000, on May 16th, Prince announces that he has changed his name back to Prince, and that his publishing contract with Warner Chappell has expired. He had been known as an unpronounceable symbol since 1993. And on that same day, in May 16th, the Big Timers released I Got That Work. Yeah, whoa, they. And in 2001, Sean Puffy Combs is acquitted on all charges stemming from a December 1999 nightclub shooting in Manhattan. However, an artist on his Bad Boy record label, Shine, is convicted of 2 counts of assault, as well as reckless endangerment and gun possession. In 2001, Mulholland Drive premieres, and that is probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. Well, that or Get Out. It's a tie between Get Out and Mulholland Drive, and I don't even know if Mulholland Drive was designed to be a horror movie. It's just creepy. It's weird. In 2002, Star Wars 2, Attack of the Clones premieres. I never seen it. I know you Star Wars nerds can fucking sue me all you want. I don't care to see it. I think I don't watch Star Wars in spite of you fucking nerds. Because you act like if you don't watch Star Wars, you're a fucking terrorist. Your mom's a terrorist and she uses her teeth too much. Blow me. In 2009, after 14 years, Mad TV's series finale airs on Fox with host Fred Willard, R.I.P., and includes guest appearances by former cast members members: Alex Borstein, Mo Collins, Artie Lang, Will Sasso, and Deborah Wilson. I've always liked that Deborah Wilson. Don't judge my critiques. Don't judge my taste in women. In 2011, after seriously flirting with the idea for months, businessman and apprentice host and piece of shit, Donald Trump announces that he will not run for U.S. president in 2012. 8 months later, on December 23rd, Trump switches his party affiliation from Republican to Independent due to a possible opening to enter the race as a third-party candidate. And I wish he would have kept that fucking promise, that orange-faced fucking pizza face. Deep breaths, Steve, deep breaths. In 2012, The Dictator premiered, and that was a funny movie. It wasn't as funny as Borat, or Borat 2, but it still has its gems nonetheless. High five! And in 2013, The Office series finale airs. What a great show that was, man. I didn't catch on to it until afterwards, until syndication and Netflix got its grubby hands on it. But more importantly than all of that shit, in 1990, on May 16th, Ice Cube released America's Most Wanted. And I'll be talking about that later. Today in sports history, in 1955, Rocky Marciano beats Don Cockle by TKO in the 9th round at Kezar Stadium, San Francisco, to retain his world heavyweight boxing title. In 1975, Muhammad Ali TKOs Ron Lyle in 11 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1977, Muhammad Ali beats Alfredo Evangelos in 15 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1979, the National League approves Astro sales from Ford Motors to John J. McMullen for $19 million. In 1980, the 34th NBA championship is held. LA Lakers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 4-2. In 1984, Philly pitcher Steve Carlton hits a Grand Slam homer. In 1985, Michael Jordan is named NBA Rookie of the Year. In 1994, tennis star Jennifer Capriati is arrested on possession of marijuana. In 1996, Sammy Sosa is the first Chicago Cub to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. And that was my half-assed sports report. Coming up, I'm going to go over Ice Cube's solo debut album, America's Most Wanted, as it was released on this day, May 16th in 1990. We'll be back after these messages. In today's birthdays for May 16th, happy 36th birthday to American actress Megan Fox. Turning 48 today is American actress, reality television personality, and author Tori Spelling. Turning 52 today is American journalist, co-founder of The Daily Caller, and bow-tied piece of shit, Tucker Carlson. Also turning 52 today is American actor David Boreanaz. Happy 53rd birthday to American singer and producer Ralph Tresvant, Mr. Sensitivity. Turning 55 today is American football player and Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas. Also 55 is American singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, and actress Janet Jackson. Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Turning 56 today is American bass player, songwriter, author, and activist of the legendary band Nirvana, Chris Novoselic. Happy 57th birthday to American basketball player, actor, NBA champ, John Sally. Turning 60 today is American wrestler Charles Wright, better known as Papa Shango, or The Godfather. All aboard the Ho Train. Turning 66 today is American actress Deborah Winger. And turning 68 today is Irish-American actor and producer Pierce Brosnan. Dun-dun, 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 ba-bow-bow. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. You know what that means, right? You pay nothing. It's free 99. It's a free app that you put on your phone, and it lets you go from there. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Check out Anchor.
Ninja MC exceeding the expectations as rap villains place stains in your reputation. I specialize in excelling in execution. You expired and your demise is the resolution. Exiled and X-Files for noise pollution. I redesign internal workings of revolutions. You couldn't see me with a CNI dog, kinda like you couldn't see me in the San Francisco fog. You couldn't see me if I walked right by you, cause I'm straight laking in the city of the bayou. I'm back at it, but you out on suspension. I got 16s, have you tapping out of submission. I mean, punchlines that'll have you out of commission. Proofreading your notepad, going back to revision. So, you're not convincing and I'm not listening. I'm a Laker King warrior, Mitch Richmond.
Glass City half full.
And a special mention to those no longer with us. This past Friday, we lost American professional wrestler New Jack. Born Jerome Young on January 3, 1963, in Greensboro, North Carolina, he was best known for his time with Extreme Championship Wrestling, where he became notorious for his willingness to take dangerous bumps and his stiff, hardcore wrestling style, often taking high risk and shooting or going off script on opponents, verbally or physically, including in the 1996 mass transit incident. He is also known for being the only wrestler to have had his entrance music, Natural Born Killers by Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, played throughout his matches in ECW. On May 14, 2021, Young's wife told PW Insider that he died at the age of 58 after a heart attack that afternoon in his home state of North Carolina. His official Facebook page confirmed his death. Liberace was an American pianist, singer, and actor. Born Vladzio Valentino Liberace on May 16, 1919 in West Allis, Wisconsin, he was a child prodigy, born in Wisconsin to parents of Italian and Polish origin. Liberace enjoyed a career spanning 4 decades of concerts, recordings, television, motion pictures, and endorsements. At the height of his fame from the 1950s to 1970s, Liberace was the highest paid entertainer in the world, with established concert residencies in Las Vegas and an international touring schedule. Liberace embraced a lifestyle of flamboyant excess, both on and off stage, earning the nickname Mr. Showmanship. Liberace was secretly diagnosed HIV positive in August 1985 by his private physician in Las Vegas, 18 months before his death. Kerry James Wyman, his alleged lover of 7 years, was also infected and died in 1997 at age 33. Another alleged lover, named Chris Adler, came forward after Liberace's death and claimed that Liberace infected him with HIV. Adler died in 1990 at age 30. Aside from his long-term manager, Seymour Heller, and a few family members and associates, Liberace kept his terminal illness a secret until the day he died and did not seek any medical treatment. In August 1986, during one of his last interviews, which was with the TV news program Good Morning America, Liberace hinted of his failing health when he remarked, "How can you enjoy life if you don't have your health?" He was hospitalized for pneumonia from January 23rd to 27th, 1987 at the Palm Springs County Hospital. Liberace died of pneumonia as a result of AIDS on the late morning of February 4th, 1987 at his retreat home in Palm Springs, California at the age of 67. Billy Martin was an American Major League Baseball second baseman and manager. Born Alfred Manuel Martin Jr. on May 16, 1928 in Berkeley, California, he was first known as a scrappy infielder who made considerable contributions to the championship Yankee teams of the 1950s. He then built a reputation as a manager who would initially make bad teams good before ultimately being fired amid dysfunction. In each of his stints with the Yankees, he managed them to winning records before being fired by team owner George Steinbrenner or resigning under fire, usually amid a well-publicized scandal such as Martin's involvement in alcohol-fueled fights. Martin was still a special consultant to Steinbrenner when he was killed in a low-speed single-vehicle accident on Christmas Day, 1989. His vehicle ran into a drainage culvert near the entrance of the driveway to his farm in Port Crane, north of Binghamton, New York. He was pronounced dead at a hospital in Johnson City, New York. He was 61 at the time of his death. Rest easy, y'all. On this day in 1990, America's Most Wanted was released. America's Most Wanted is the debut studio album by American rapper Ice Cube, released by Priority Records. It was his first solo album after an acrimonious split from his former group, NWA. The album was primarily produced by Public Enemy's production team, The Bomb Squad. A critical and commercial success, it remains one of the defining hip-hop albums of the 1990s. After departing from Ruthless Records and the West Coast-based group NWA, Ice Cube immediately moved to record his own album. Cube maintains that originally he and NWA producer Dr. Dre still wanted to collaborate for Cube's debut solo, but the move was nixed by label powers. He said, "When I went solo, I wanted Dr. Dre to do America's Most Wanted, but Jerry Heller vetoed that, and I'm pretty sure Eazy didn't want Dre to do it, but Dre did want to do it. We gotta put that on record. Dre wanted to do my record, but it was just too crazy with the breakup." Linking up with Sir Jinx, Dr. Dre's cousin, Cube made use of pre-written notebooks of songs meant for NWA member Ruthless co-founder Eazy-E. After relocating to New York, they worked on the songs, which included Once Upon a Time in the Projects, Get Off My Dick, and Tell Your Bitch to Come Here, and Gangsta's Fairy Tale, among others. Under fire from his former group with the song 100 Miles and Running from the EP of the same name, he also recorded the song Jackin' for Beats, using beats allegedly planned for use on the next NWA album, though he would use this several months later on the Kill at Will EP. After contacting Public Enemy's production team, The Bomb Squad, they completed the album. The album received a fair share of production credited to various Bomb Squad members, with an appearance by Public Enemy frontman Chuck D, despite Jinx's claims that the only Bomb Squad member fully present was Eric Sadler. Hank Shockley spoke on meeting and working with Ice Cube in Kula Magazine's interview. "Cube contacted me wanting to know if we could do a few tracks for his solo album after the whole NWA thing came to what it was, and I was like, I'll do it if I can do the whole album. And he said, that's what I was hoping you would say, you know. And when we were in the studio, he showed up with notebooks and notebooks full of new rhymes and a bag full of rhyme books. With socio-political conscious and gangster rap content, its songs delve into the issues of ghetto life, drug addiction, racism, and poverty. Throughout the album, Ice Cube incessantly attacks institutional racism, as well as social norms, which directly or indirectly allowed the oppression of those living in the ghettos of Los Angeles to continue. On Endangered Species, Tales from the Dark Side, he predicts that his neighborhood would become a flashpoint for violence before 1992's scandal over the beating of Rodney King, and takes police to task for the policies that would later lead to the LA riots that resulted. Throughout the album, Cube takes some controversial stands, referring to certain types of African Americans as Oreo cookies, an epithet implying that they appear black on the outside but have internally negative white tendencies. Arsenio Hall is specifically mentioned as being a sellout. Cube also heavily criticizes R&B and hip-hop radio stations for watered-down broadcasting. The title song directly parodies the television show America's Most Wanted, alleging bias and denouncing the glee the program displays in arresting African-American men. A later skit, The Drive-By, returns to the same theme at the end, with newscaster Tom Brokaw reporting on rioting, stating outside the South Central area, few cared about the violence because it didn't affect them. He also addressed gender relations on It's a Man's World, a duet between Cube and rapper Yo-Yo. Cube and Yo-Yo verbally spar and trade sexist barbs back and forth in an expose of sexism between men and women. America's Most Wanted initially charted without the support of a lead single or video, although the title track would later receive a pressing and a rare video for Who's the Mac eventually surfaced. It was directed by Alex Winter. Yes, that Alex Winter. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Alex Winter. Upon release, America's Most Wanted received critical acclaim, and over the years it has been regarded by many as a hip-hop classic. David Mills from the Washington Post praised the album for its lyrical dexterity, stating Ice Cube has now proven that he was NWA's crucial element. He's an unusually gifted rhymer, and his delivery is even more self-assured. Greg Sandow from Entertainment Weekly called it not necessarily cohesive art, but complimented the album's vivid depictions of urban realities, and wrote that Ice Cube emerges as a rapper most original for his uncompromising tone. He throws ghetto life in our faces and dares us to draw our own conclusions. Rolling Stone originally gave the album 2.5 out of 5 stars in 1990, with Alan Light commenting, "The relentless profanity grows wearisome, the Bomb Squad beats lose steam, and Cube's attitudes toward women are simply despicable." He also declared the album as a disappointment. Rolling Stone, however, raised the rating to 3.5 stars in 1992 and to 5 stars in 2004 and praised the album for its production and lyrics. In a retrospective review, David Jeffries from AllMusic stated, "The street knowledge venom with ultra-fast funk works splendidly throughout the album, with every track hitting home. America's Most Wanted is a timeless, riveting exercise in anger, honesty, and the socio-political possibilities of hip-hop." Ice Cube's social and political commentary, delivered in an incisive manner, has influenced numerous rappers since America's Most Wanted, particularly in the gangster rap and political rap subgenres. Focusing on the hardships of life in South Central Los Angeles, as well as criticizing the American justice system and race relations in the United States, Cube became an outspoken voice of U.S. social customs tipped against young black Americans. Although Ice Cube's popularity among mainstream listeners has lessened since the 2000s and his sound may be considered distinctively old school to modern ears, many notable rappers themselves have been influenced by America's Most Wanted. His style of rapping about real-life sentiment and socio-political awareness influenced the music of West Coast rappers, including that of Tupac Shakur, Ras Kass, and Exhibit, as well as East Coast rappers Nas, The Notorious B.I.G., and more recently Saigon, JPEG Mafia, and Southern rapper Young Jeezy. East Coast rapper Redman also covered Once Upon a Time in the Projects on his album Docs the Name 2000 with the song Jersey Yo. America's Most Wanted debuted at number 19 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. It was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America 2 weeks after it was released for sales of over 500,000 copies. The album was eventually certified platinum 2 months later on September 16, 1991. Happy 31st anniversary, America's Most Wanted. Thank you, Ice Cube. Don Mega. Yay, yay! So that wraps up another edition of Over the Culture Podcast. Please make sure you check out my other show, Happened in the 90s with my buddy Matt G every Thursday, and our sister show, Crushgasm with Kendra, every Wednesday. Man, she's killing it. Peacock, by the way, is finally rolling out the rest of that WWE stuff. Come on, you goddamn bird. Y'all be cool. Peace.